Okay, as I pointed out last time, these videos are going to be for covering the spoilers for the new Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo chapters. I won't be showing anything on screen because Shueisha has decided to come after my channel with full force. I currently have copyright strikes. My views are being, impressions are being restricted, so you're probably not going to see this anyway. So yeah, I'm just gonna, I don't care. I'm gonna sit here and talk about it anyway. But be warned, okay? Spoilers. Big spoilers. If you don't want spoilers and you want to wait for the official, which you definitely should because translations are rough, then you should just skip the video, alright? Because we're going to be talking about what happens. Don't take anything I say to face value. It's mainly going to be me speculating about what the stuff could possibly mean. But anyway, let's just get into it because you guys should know how it works by now. This chapter is kind of a weird one. I'm not going to lie. Some people will think it's filler, but it does give us some pretty interesting new information and potentially sets up a nice little theory that I have, which could maybe tie Megami into the story. I don't know if we want that, to be honest, but the potential's there, ironically. Anyway, we start off by going on a mission. Supposedly, there's been this manhunter set loose, so Yuka, actually not even Yuka, Tsurugi and Maru go after it to hunt it down. But first, we see Yuka, Tsurugi, Maru, and Usami kind of just talking to each other on a train or whatever, and they're basically figuring, well, Maru's probably an alien, but can't really tell us, and Usami can't tell us, so it's just kind of there for them to figure out, but Tsurugi kind of has guessed that they are aliens, because, obviously. We then see this super strange panel of a shark literally levitating in a forest. Yep, that's the best way I can explain it, to be honest with you. And we basically then learn that Maru is not aware of what a cursed spirit is. Because obviously, when Jujutsu sorcerers get sent out on missions to deal with these, creatures or man-eaters or whatever the, civilians call it in to be, they tend to be cursed spirits. In this case, they think it's possible it could be an alien, but in general, it's mainly cursed spirits. But Maru doesn't know what that is, as we've been speculating, because Maru's people all seem to be able to control cursed energy. Therefore, nothing leaks off them, and therefore nothing accumulates to create curses, so Maru is completely unfamiliar with the concept of a cursed spirit, which I feel like is very nice setup for potential interactions with cursed spirits later on. However, another very interesting bit of information that we actually get is that now in Japan, cursed spirits pretty much only appear in Tokyo, which is no surprise because Tokyo was the epicenter of the massive Jujutsu terror event that happened 68 years ago. Kenjaku, Shibuya, Shinjuku, the whole shebang, all in Tokyo, and so all curses or cursed spirits are kind of focused there. They don't really appear anywhere else. At least that's what the translations suggest. So yeah, that's a nice little bit of information there to kind of learn about cursed spirits a bit. And anyway, we're sent on this mission where civilians have kind of just called in, there's this man-eater, big tiger or whatever, I don't know, and we see this levitating shark, so Tsurugi and Maru go out into the forest, and Tsurugi takes this opportunity to basically prod at Maru and be like, yo, you an alien, bro? I can tell you're an alien. And Maru's like, I can't tell you that right now. Okay, you might as well just say it. You might as well, it's like saying, yeah, I'm an alien, I'm just not allowed to tell you, you know? Anyway, Maru then basically says that he can't use his technique or interfere, and Tsurugi kind of questions well, a boy's life was in danger, why would you not pull the move that you did with your eye earlier on so that you could, you should prioritize saving the boy's life instead of whatever rules you need to follow, which Maru takes to heart, to be honest, and he will explain it later on that he's under very strict orders not to use, his technique is a special one. It's kind of tied to his twin, and if he uses it in a big way with lots of cursed energy, like at full power, it seems like his twin will in some way either be influenced by it or be aware of it, probably aware of it in some kind of resonancy way, and that will get Maru in trouble because he's not meant to do that. So like he said in chapter 1, he'll just use a little bit of cursed energy and not get in trouble. And then he did that at the end, but he hesitated for that reason. Obviously, he does care about saving lives, as we know. So it's not like he was prioritizing his own well-being over the life. It's just that he was kind of conflicted a bit. But yeah, they have a nice little conversation about that. The general gist of the chapter is that eventually Maru kind of owns up to being, yes, fine, I'm an alien. My job is to come here and monitor your missions and collect information to see if we can coexist with you. Pretty much as simple as that. I'm sure there's more to it, but that's all that really matters between Tsurugi and Maru for this chapter. The really funny stuff comes in the form of this shark, because the shark I mean it, it's floating in the forest. It's a normal shark. It seems normal at first, and it's just floating in the forest, as you do. It turns out that when Maru grabs onto the shark, it's revealed that it's a kind of middle-aged dude in a, I don't know if it's a suit or like he's kind of inside a shikigami or he can turn himself into a shark. It's very unclear why he looks like a shark and why he's floating. I don't know, but he's a guy. He's a dude, all right? And the dude is looking for his pet tiger. Now, the pet tiger's got some lore. The tiger is the man-eater. It's attacked a civilian, I believe. Yeah, it seems like the tiger is a rare breed that, like, is the grandson of a pair of tigers that were brought here, like, 25 years ago by some illegal traders. Who really cares, to be honest? But the tiger is was raised by this shark man since it was a cub, but now it's kind of all grown up and angry and whatever. Apparently, there's this big solar farm on the mountain that, like, stopped working or so. I don't know. Basically, all you need to know, the river ran dry, all right? The river ran dry, and therefore the tiger went, oh, I need prey, I need food, I need water. The current area is not providing. I'm gonna head down the mountain, and oh dear, that's a human being. Tiger attacks. Tiger's now, you know, did bad things, and so the tiger kind of has to go. That's the gist of it. Again, there's going to be way more details than that, but we don't have the right translations at the moment, and I ain't trying to spread any misinformation, so that's what I'm going to stick with. Now, obviously, Shark Guy is like, wait, no, please, I love this tiger with my life, please don't kill it. And Tsurugi's like, sorry, man, I'm a Jujutsu sorcerer, it's my job. But then, Shark Guy says, oh yeah, really, you from Jujutsu High? Yeah, well, I'm a graduate from Jujutsu High. Yeah, I used to be a sorcerer. Just like, bro, how did this middle-aged, like, shark suit wearing, mountain living, tiger loving dude, like, he just told us that he graduated from Jujutsu High, but he looks like he's 40, all right? This guy looks rough, with kind of dark features. He's got a very weird, bubbly personality, but his name's Nagata, and I have a theory about who Nagata is, but I'll kind of get to that in a second. Anyway, Nagata basically detects the tiger hanging around. He then goes shark mode and, like, tries to subdue his tiger, but the tiger strikes back with a big claw strike and injures him. So Tsurugi is like, sorry, tiger, you gotta go. The shark man starts crying, but he's like, I understand, do what you need to do. Tiger's not the same, blah, blah, blah. And Tsurugi supposedly off-screens the tiger. So Tsurugi is now a confirmed tiger level, which I would say is like, what, a grade 4 feat, probably? Yeah, this chapter's so odd, right? Even as I say it, I'm realizing how bonkers this chapter is. Yeah, so Shark Dude accepts the tiger's fate, Tsurugi kills the tiger, Maru and Tsurugi have their nice little heart-to-heart about, you know, Maru coming clean about being an alien and why he's there. He doesn't tell us the details of how his technique works, but he does share that when he uses it in a big way, it's kind of tied to his brother in some way, I don't know. And then another little tiger comes out of the bushes, which Tsurugi initially looks like he's gonna go and literally murder in cold blood, but instead he picks it up and gives it to Sharkman. He's like, you better look after him this time and, like, raise him well, you know? And obviously Sharkman's thrilled about this. He's got a new tiger cub, he's got a second chance, which could be very symbolic in a way, you know, second chances, reincarnation, all of that kind of stuff. Also, tigers kind of being important in JJK. We never saw Tiger Funeral part of the 10 Shadows. That was something we never saw. And also, Yuji was known as the Tiger of West something high back in the day. I don't know, there's some symbolism with tigers and JJK. But yeah, so I'm sure it represents something. We'll have a better idea when TCB drops. But yeah, so that kind of all transpires, and then chapter ends with this weird kind of, it's very hard to tell what's actually going on, with this little panel of Yuka in, like, everyone's kind of drawn in chibi style, so it's hard to tell who they are. But Yuka is sat there, and someone says to her, oh, you look just like me when I was young, which, by the looks of it, it could be maybe Yuta and Maki's kids, so like Yuka's parents, because they do kind of look like Yuta and Maki in a way. It could be Megami and Hana, maybe? Unlikely, but maybe, because I do think the twins look a lot like Megami, especially Tsurugi, but he's talking to Yuka, so I don't know. I think they're probably Yuta's kids, but I'm just guessing there. And yeah, that kind of leads me into my theory about who Nagata is. I'm saying this purely based off the fact that he has this weird connection with animals, similar to He Who Must Not Be Named. I'm talking about Megami. I think he could be Megami's son. I'm just saying, it kind of adds up. Middle-aged dude, did go to Jujutsu High, graduated as a sorcerer, has this, like, weird connection to animals where he can, like, look into their eyes and they can kind of communicate in a way. And obviously Megami was, like, a big animal lover, right? And Tiger Funeral is the only part of Megami's kit we didn't see. This guy is interacting with tigers. Okay, it sounds like a stretch now that I say it, but he even has Megami's, like, dark features. The only thing he doesn't have is his personality, but I'm hoping he just picked that up from his mother. Again, nothing really other than that subtle interpretation which suggests he has anything to do with Megami, other than, you know, it's just kind of a theory. It doesn't say that in the chapter, I just want to clarify. But I'm calling it now. I reckon this dude is Megami's kid. It all kind of adds up timeline-wise. The only thing that doesn't add up is why the hell he's dressed in this weird shark Shikigami costume, and why he's no longer a sorcerer and a bit of a bum. I guess the bum part kind of checks out if he is related to Megami, but yeah, that's the chapter. It's really odd. But we get nice lore drops about cursed spirits, we kind of learn a bit more about aliens, get some hints at Maru's stuff, and this weird shark dude. That's pretty much all that happens. I don't know, it's kind of... It feels like maybe a bit of a nothing burger, but there is nice details in there. It's just, I don't know where we're going from here. Compared to the last two chapters, kind of lost, not gonna lie. Yeah, that's it. So I'm just gonna cut it short there, I think. Yeah, but yeah, I will catch you guys shortly for an actual chapter review, like a fully edited one on the weekend. All right, see you around.